Hidden Object Guru here with a look at the updated Caelus Files website, along with some interesting info dropped via the game's badges and trading cards. Let's start with the new files. First, we have a report about missing soldiers in the Zagros region. Once again, the report is from January, suggesting that the creatures are most active in the winter months. This time a group of soldiers disappeared, and we get more references to loud, bat-like clicking around the time of the attacks. One weird thing about this image, at the top is a crest representing the Police Department of Iraq. The year listed, whether that's in 1854 or 1954, doesn't actually make sense. If it's 1854, there wasn't an Iraq yet. But if it's 1954, that's 28 years after this file was supposedly made. Also, a fleur-de-lis is a weird thing to see on the shield, since Iraq was never a French colony. Maybe this is 100% accurate, it just seemed odd to me. The second file is about the disappearance of the archaeological expedition in 1947, first mentioned in this newspaper from Man of Medan. Apparently they disappeared without any trace of what happened to them. According to the file, locals blame Pazuzu, who they believe to be responsible for the slaughter of livestock which happens in the area with some regularity. The file also reinforces the idea that the monsters will stay away if offerings are left for them. Also that there's a group of cultists in the mountains, capturing travelers and sacrificing them to the creatures. Oh, and the crest on this page is accurate to the Iraqi police service, although the matching badge I found was from 1979, and I can't find any evidence online about whether it was used all the way back into the 40s. Then we've got some photos, including a backpack and 2 pictures of rifles, all left by the vanished soldiers from 1926. Then we have these shots of the ruins the archaeologists were exploring. The pictures get more exciting here as we see a shadow of one of the bat beasts, revealing a row of spines running down its back. Then we've got a shot of a human man with an apparently bare torso, standing at the top of a staircase. He seems to be wearing a skirt. Is this the man from the vampire photo? Is there actually an immortal human down here? Or are these the cultists we've seen reference to? Perhaps there's a whole series of devotees who not only sacrifice humans to the creatures, but also dress in ancient cosplay to feel connected to the history of the temple? Now we've got a closer shot of a crouched monster, with the spines even more obvious this time around. This temple shot is a location we'll likely see in the game. It might even be where the rappelling scene takes place. I looked it over for a minute, trying to find anything else in the picture, like a shadowy figure, but I didn't have any luck. Now we've got 3 videos to look at. First there's Collapse, which offers a particularly upsetting and brutal death for the barbed wire guy, Merwin. Then we've got Fractured, which we've already seen pieces of in the teaser. Finally, we've got the big video, Swarm, which confirms that there's more than one monster in the temple. We've had comments referencing the nest of creatures, but this is the first time we're getting visual confirmation that there's a whole bunch of the bat monsters in the game. This is the best look we've gotten yet of the creatures, and they're fantastic. Especially the back spikes, which are so much odder in motion than in still pictures. One downside to the amazing level of detail on the bat monster is that you can spot repeating pieces of the model on the various creatures, suggesting that it's the exact same creature repeated over and over again. Check out this damage to their wing membranes. There seems to be matching damage between some of the models. Not a huge problem, or one that will likely be noticeable in the main game, but a detail I thought was neat nonetheless. Next up, we'll take a look at the badges, which have some interesting names under them. First, we have Force Recon, referring to the Army Special Forces team in the game, written under an unadorned Pazuzu statue. Then we have Close Encounter, likely a reference to the game's claustrophobic setting, although I hope they had the line about Hicks's shotgun from Aliens in mind when writing it. Note that Pazuzu now has a scorpion tail. Is this picture actually a scorpion monster, as I've questionably suggested in my shadow interpretation? After that is Alone in the Dark, a nod to the video game, with Pazuzu having developed his famous snake penis. Then we've got 2 vampire references in a row, Nightwalker and Stake to the Heart, with Pazuzu getting his arm snake and wings to finish up the statue. Also intriguing is the foil level badge, which is called Deep One. Possibly an H.P. Lovecraft nod, children of Dagon are called Deep Ones, and a bizarre logo that looks like an eye inside of a star with rays coming out of it. Could the game be planning to go into bizarre cosmic horror right at the end? I can't wait to find out. Then we've got the trading cards, which depict all of the announced main characters except for Nick, as well as 3 other Special Forces troopers, all of whom we've seen in videos, and Balathu, who is from the prologue, which seems to be set in the distant past, Or maybe they're just cultist cosplayers, as I mentioned earlier, in a shocking twist. Not long now before we find out. That's it for the Caelus files right now, but there's always a chance they're going to put up more videos, and at some point, once we get enough tags of House of Ashes, they'll unlock the last few folders. We'll put up another video when that happens, but for now, I've been the Hidden Object Guru, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please remember to like and subscribe. Special thanks to my patrons Marissa, Desire, Eduardo, Joanne, and Brian. If you'd like to support the channel so I can continue making videos like this one, check out the Patreon link. If there's any topics you'd like to see covered, be sure to mention them in the comment section below the video. See you back here for more dark pictures, but until then, au revoir.